After a long search for life on this earth, I finally found out what this life is worth. And in my rebirth, I had to sit down, jot some of this shit down and drop into a verse. See, I'll be the first to say that the life that I used to portray had me turned for the worst. But I learned to converse with myself in this search, and I came to this place to embrace my rebirth. After a string of events that got worse, I up and left this all too familiar turf in search of a little bit of sun and some surf, to find a place where I could perch so I could sit and just nurse all the wounds and injuries that my heart has felt from all the scars and them hardship blows that were dealt. It's like I'm out here exposing myself unrevealed. This is the truth of how I had to build and grow for myself. I had to go for broke with nobody's help, with pure selfish reasons in mind. I left one summer season to find myself. See, it was about that time I defined myself. In June of '99, I left by myself. For 5.5 long hours I drove on this 300+ mile stretch of road. I never knew that I could get so bold. 22 years old, I never ever left my parents' abode, but still I chose to leave that place in the face all my fears, despite not knowing what might take place in them years to come. A little dumb, a little naive, but the smartest decision I ever made was to leave. See, I could breathe now, and I'm content. My intent was to find a place where I could reinvent the person that I was and the things I represent, planning to cement myself where I went. See, I was hell-bent on discovering something other than this. Tired of hovering, smothered within the circular abyss, gripped by these endless cycles that I had to resist. Shed my skin, said goodbye, and blew my former life a kiss.
After a long search for life on this earth, I finally found out what this life is worth. And in my rebirth, I had to sit down, jot some of this shit down and drop into a verse. See, I'll be the first to say that the life that I used to portray had me turn for the worst. But I learned to converse with myself in this search, and I came to this place to embrace my rebirth. Born again, but I'm not covered in placenta, building my cheddar while still in the epicenter. Better the numbers, improving the lifestyle. Man, we cornering 30, no time to act like a child. With attention deficit, lasting a couple seconds. Stay thinking for long term, follow the right direction. Rising above by sharpening intellect. Knowledge is stainless, protected from catch a wreck. Depositing paychecks, put aside for the rent. Dividing percentages for every single expense. Collecting overtime for all of my time spent. Vocational graduate, 18 months that I spent locking job security, trying to better myself. Had to slow it down a little, got ahead of myself. Stabilizing, dealt with occasional obstacles. Surviving a brainstorm, clearing the opticals in the blink of an eye. All of a sudden 27, perspective is different now, but never will I be forgetting the reason I straightened out. False brethren faded out, relocating my state of mind after taking the wrong route. 41 to 99, still in the 5-9, taking shorty on trips, international skylines, surpassing the hard times. Status is elevated, in order for me to make it I had to remain patient. Feet on the pavement, financially maintaining, no longer irritated, receiving a bank statement, comfortable living arrangement I consider a blessing. Rebirth of an old soul, metaphysical reconception. After a long search for life on this earth, I finally found out what this life is worth. And in my rebirth, I had to sit down, jot some of this shit down and drop into a verse. See, I'll be the first to say that the life that I used to portray had me turn for the worst. But I learned to converse with myself in this search, and I came to this place to embrace my rebirth.